An author study about Marianne Richmond. Marianne says, "My passion is to give voice to the heart's journey, helping you connect with your own spirit and with who you love." Marianne Richmond is a mother, wife, author, and artist. She lives in Northern California with her 4 amazing children, Cole, Adam, Julia, Will, and her husband Jim. Fun facts. You will see the acronym CAJW in her books. This stands for her children. For 16 years, Marianne and her husband built and co-ran a multi-million-dollar business in the competitive book publishing world. Her and her family lived in Minnesota for some time and still visits often for work. She loves asking for input from her children before publishing her books and also asking for input on her illustrations. She puts words to emotions and paints a beautiful picture both verbally and visually. An author and artist for 20 years, writing and illustrating more than 50 books and selling more than 6 million copies. However, she was not always an author. Since she was a little girl, she always envisioned herself in the corporate world. But she only worked in the corporate world for 13 months. Then her journey changed. Since the age of 9, she had epileptic seizures that shook my being, physically and emotionally, she said. The cause of her seizures went undiagnosed for 15 years. Then the doctors discovered a benign brain tumor that she would have surgery to remove. While in recovery from brain surgery, Marianne painted thank you cards to her well-wishers and wrote a story about a guardian angel. After sharing her thank you cards and her story to friends and family, she received so many positive remarks, and she realized her new passion, and she quickly found that she could make a living. The picture is an example of one of her paintings on her thank you cards. It says, "When life feels like you're paddling upstream, I'll be your swimming buddy." In 1997, she published her first book, The Gift of an Angel, which was a story she wrote about a guardian angel while in recovery from brain surgery. This story was inspired by her husband, who was there for her during this difficult time. That same year, she wrote The Gift of a Memory, which was inspired by a grief-stricken mom who shared her story of losing a child to Marianne. Our job as parents is to usher our kids' hearts into adulthood. They are not broken, deficient, or need to be fixed. They are whole and need someone to gently carry them through, being a mirror to their inherent goodness. As a mother of 4 children, she knows that all families want the same for their children, for them to feel loved and to feel valued. She hopes that her books are a way to help parents and educators show and teach children that they are loved for being who they are and that they are valued. Marianne believes we are connected by our desire to feel seen, loved, valued, and understood. She knows our stories are different, but our feelings are a lot the same. Often, Marianne travels the country speaking at workshops for teachers, parents, and women. She visits schools to share her stories with children. Topics of her workshops are Finding Your Brave. She talks to students about finding their courage and how bravery looks different in many ways. She reads her story, Be Brave, Little One. Hooray for You, a celebration of you-ness. She talks to students about what sets them apart and celebrating what makes you, you. We talk about the importance of celebrating individuality and honoring differences, compassion over criticism, and empathy over judgment. She reads her book, Hooray for You. I Believe in You. The job of growing up takes hard work, but each day is an adventure and each problem helps you grow. In this workshop, Marianne talks about inner assets needed to succeed: truth-telling, courage, kindness, etc., as well as the life team every kid needs: parents, teachers, and coaches. She especially loves talking to children. Here she is speaking to a group of kindergartners about what makes them unique after reading the book Hooray for You. She loves listening to children talk about what they love about themselves. Books I Love by Marianne, Richmond. Hooray for You, A Celebration of Eunice. This book was the first book introduced to me by Marianne Richmond, and I instantly fell in love. A new parent that was just joining my classroom had came to me before his child started and asked if I would read this to the students before his child started. He informed me that his child looked different from many normal children, and he wanted the other children in the classroom to understand it's great to be unique. I instantly fell in love with the story, and I love reading the story to my classroom even now. It's a great story about celebrating being you. The illustrations do a fantastic job of celebrating individuality. Be Brave, Little One. A fantastic book about being brave. This is a great book to talk to children about what it means to be brave and how to be brave. This book takes a complex topic and makes it simple for children to understand and talk about. In 2010, Marianne and her husband wound down their business in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and moved to Northern California. There, Marianne partnered with Sourcebooks Incorporated and now works independently, finding inspiration in the dailiness of life and partnering with the people and companies that allow her to do her greatest work.